On like that when you're ready.
Good afternoon. Greetings, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today. I know I have a waiting audience that's equally as excited as I am. Welcome to Voice of the Workforce. I'm Cheryl Stubblefield, the president of UAW 129, and I am so excited to be here. I have a couple of goals in mind. With this particular channel, this is our launching of a new and exciting adventure. I'm always looking forward to visiting with people and expressing our workforce thing. So this is Voices of the Workforce. Voices of the Workforce. So if you are a working citizen, a working person, a working age person, shout out. Shout out, just shout to me. On this particular channel, what I am trying to bring forward is to answer all your questions, and I'm asking that you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, because if you subscribe and turn on your notifications, every time Voice of the Workforce come on, you'll be personally notified. And I need that because of the rules and regulations governing YouTube. Give me that thumbs up, because that's how they measure the success. So if this is something that's good for you, something that will be resonating in your spirit and in your soul, give me a thumbs up. And just good measure, just show your girl some love today. Just give me a thumbs up. So let's go back through this. My goal is to answer any of your questions dealing with the workplace. If you have any particular questions that I may be able to answer, and let's just say I cannot answer, I will strive and give my 110% to come back next time, and I'll make sure that those particular questions were answered. So I'm asking that you would subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications, because what? It is super important that you do so. And I'm asking just for YouTube's personal quota and details that they need, give me that thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. Hi, once again, I am Cheryl Stubblefield. I have over 30 years of labor movement experience in the private sector as well as the public sector. So I have encountered a lot of very professional and beneficial people. So in these past 30 years, I have worked with some of the greats. And it is an opportunity to come to you. It is such a blessing and a privilege to come to you with the experience, with the people who I have been empowered to be around during my development. And as a student, I was a student under so many of the greats. Clara Faulkner, that's one of my mentors. She has been so inspirational. And that's just a shout out, a drop point to her. I have a lot of experience. I've had a lot of training. I have knowledge, skills, and abilities that will promote voices of the workforce. So I'm asking that you come on, join in with me, and let's just celebrate together. Some of the local events that I've had an opportunity to deal with was getting out into the community. If you are activist or unionism, we all about community. You have to engage your community, get people involved, and those are the things that resonate with them. Part of having a successful union is to have people responsible and to give them empowerment and opportunities to advance who they want to be and how they see their future. So you want to help your members shape their future. You want to give them some ideas, some suggestions, and some goals that will promote that. So I'm all about that. So I want to talk a little bit about perhaps bargaining, equality. Why is that so important? And we're going to talk about unionism. So let's just start. Think about, you're just getting started with a union. These are things that are super important. You got your new job. You're excited about being a part of this. Where do you go from here? First, talk to some of your neighbors, some of your coworkers. See what's happening. What are you interested in? I'm sure whatever your interest is, we have a place for that interest in our union. Because again, unionism is about a collective group of people coming together to promote better equality and opportunities for other people. So together we stand, divided we fall. That is so true. So I want you all to realize together we stand, divided we fall. Again, I want to just welcome each and every one of you all to the Voices of the Workforce. How did we get here? If you think about the particular labor group that I'm affiliated with, is the United Auto Workers. And in 1935, these gentlemen were just pretty disenfranchised with the way things were going. The managers were constantly saying that they were all about bargaining and that they were favorable. However, they were not moving in that direction. So it got to be around November, December. The guys were just pretty much sick and tired of being sick and tired. Have you ever just realized, I keep asking for a seat at the table, and you thinking that you're making strides. Sometimes you just have to sit down in order to be heard and to be recognized. So that's what these guys did in Michigan, the state of Michigan. Now, you know as well as I know that it ain't no place to be playing around in December in the state of Michigan. It's very cold. Um, Things are just the earth is kind of frozen. The temperature is real dangerous up there. Blizzards and all of that kind of stuff. These gentlemen sat down in the plant. They just refused to move because management was not bargaining with them. As they sat down, days had gone. The company decided to turn the water off. They turned the lights off. They was trying to freeze the men out. However, at this particular time, they were determined to stay, to sit down, to move the needle, to make a difference. And that they did. After the word began to penetrate into the community, their wives, mothers, aunts, cousins, the females began to join. Because let's realize in 1935, 36, there were no women in the plant. Women were home, taking care of the family, the keeping that area intact while the men were in the facilities and the plant. So they began to form their own coalition. Women came together to support the men who had decided it's now or never for us to sit down. So that's what they did. And because of our president at the time, which was Franklin D. Roosevelt, he was in support of the sit down strikers. So when you have people in position that can move the needle and that they are union friendly activists, those are the type of people who you need to have a bigger voice and carry a much greater weight. And because of FDR and his implementation, it sort of reminds us of President Joe Biden. And as he is standing for United Auto Workers and unions, he believes in that. It makes a difference in our living conditions and where we are and how far we can move the needle. So FDR was a pro-unionist, and he believed in the cause that the men were representing. They just wanted equal pay for equal work. They wanted benefits. They wanted to have better working conditions and a better life. Is that really wrong for these men to want better? I think that's what the American dream is. It's been the greatest experiment of all time. We just want equality. We want better for our lives. And we want to feel like we too have an opportunity to live the American dream. So these men decided they were going to stay put. They went through tumultuous conditions, a lot of economic disadvantages. However, they stayed the course. As we rapidly approach into 1936, it's still winter time. It's still cold, but they stood their grounds. They stood their grounds until they could see progress. And they did see progress. So they are known as the sit down strikers. What do we have today under UAW President Shawn Fain is the Stand Up March. So it's a pivotal point. It's very significant and it's very necessary in order to engage workers to know that we too should have a seat at the table. Going back to the sit downers, because of the endurance, the patience, what they went through, they knew now or never. And they stood the course. And anytime you in a fight for your life, it's always good to unify, to come together. Again, the community came in support of what was going on. So they were able to have positive changes. They began to talk professionally and responsibly with management. Management decided to take these guys serious. Take these guys serious because this time they're not going to go for the okey doke. We're not going to go for just because, well, we'll get to it tomorrow. Today, it's now. Right now, we're in the fight of our life, just as they were. So, with that being said, the needle was moved. So these guys were successful. Because of that, a lot of other laws have been enacted. You can't do some of the things that these gentlemen got away with at the time. But if you don't press the source, how would you know what will come from it? So they were able to. And because of that, we were able to have a collective bargaining agreement. So again, just a quick pause. I'm asking that you subscribe. If you like this so far, go ahead and subscribe. And I want to give you notifications every time I'm on here. And that thumbs up, that's real important to me. So give me a thumbs up if this is content that you can use. And I really hope so. I am so excited about this because I know it's a lot of information. All I can do is be about that life. People talk about woulda, coulda, shoulda. I have to move the needle forward with the knowledge that I have been given, the platform that I have been given, and the privilege that I have been given. So, Voices of the Workforce, I am Cheryl Stubblefield, and I'm asking that you subscribe. I have over 30 years of labor talk, and I want to present that to our next generation and our current generation. And let's just try to move forward with what we believe in and what we know to be good. What is bargaining? Bargaining, have you ever thought about it? When you think about, well, we want a good bargain. When you go to the store and you see the clearance shelf or whatever, or you see that they have a sale going on or something to that, those are bargaining things. They're trying to get the public in to come in and view the products that they have for sale, and they're hoping that it's at a reasonable enough price to where you'll want to do something about it. So bargaining is just the conditions of a transaction. It's the terms and conditions of a transaction. So that's kind of what we're doing with that. So unionism is policies and practices of labor unions concerned with protecting and furthering the rights of others. That's what unionism is all about. We want to protect the rights of others, and we want to further those gains by keep moving upward and to better fields that has not been discovered. So we want equality. That's really what all people talk about, is equal rights, equal justice, equal liberty. And that's just an opportunity of promotability. It's just a status that we all want to be equal. We want our place at the table. And that's what Voice of the Workforce, that's what I'm talking about today. I'm excited about this, and I just hope that you too are equally excited. I'm hoping that something that I say to you today will resonate. It will resonate enough that you'll want to go to your particular workplace and get some things started. If it takes somebody to start a process, and let that somebody be you. Why not you? Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, look inside. Search your own heart, search your own mind, and see what can I do to further the labor movement. How can I make my workplace a better environment and a better place to work? I know you can do it. I believe in you, because if you have the heart to do it, God will give you the desire and the willingness, and you'll be protected enough to keep doing it. So again, I am excited about this. Now, if you are part of a union, there are your executives, your executive board, and what your executive board consists of is your president. Some very large groups perhaps have a first and second vice president. After that, you'll have like a person that has to keep your records. That is what so significantly is important, is record keeping, because sometimes we don't really think outside the box, but those things can end up in court if it's important enough, and they will sequester the records. So it is super, super, super important to keep good records. Also, equally important is your finances. So you will have financial officers, a treasurer, a financial officer, and that's to just make sure that we are having good financial skills that protect our members' uh, money and the interest that they have. We do want to make sure that our finances are healthy and that we are promoting good financial and fiduciary responsibility in regards to that. Your trustees, you have trustees, these people entrusted to check the books to make sure that things are proper and in order. Usually you have like a head trustee that kind of works with the financial secretary to keep things as healthy and as responsible as we could, to show the membership that we are good stewards of the finances and the dues that the members are paying, because that too is so very important. We have a sergeant at arms, and we keep the orderly running of our meeting, to make sure that the members are the members. Anything get a little bit, sometimes we can get a little bit emotional or not quite at our faculties 100%. And that's when our sergeant at arms want to exercise their duty to keep the rest of the membership as safe and harm-free as possible. So that too, all the roles are important, but that too is important, that we exercise good behavior during our meetings as well. And our guide, you usually have a guide on there, your executive board. These are your executive officers. You also have members at large, and that is whatever your bylaws would like to have to act as a voice and as a person to be a part of the executive decisions that your union makes. So it's usually members at large. Sometimes it consists of your chairpersons if you are amalgamated. That's really significant and important. So that's kind of the layout of where that particular thing stand. And perhaps one day you'll want to be president or vice president, recording secretary, financial secretary, trustee, sergeant at arms, guide. And if those things are a little out of your space of what you think you can contribute your time and energy to, there are standing committees. And we do have a list of standing committees that are really important. The importance of standing committees is to help further the mission of the union and the executive and the members to keep pushing the envelope forward. So we have things like women's committee. Women can come together, and men too. What we have found out throughout many, many years is the fact that a lot of women issues, if we can get our men involved and on board and tune, they too can help push some of the issues that affect women. So the women's committee is things that are better, trying to better women lives, uh, understanding that it's more women that are in the work place now. And with that, we have different needs than men. At the facility in 1935, 36, the sit downers, they probably was just only concerned about urinals. Okay, women, we don't use urinals. So it's small things like that that matters greatly. So when you are incorporating women into your workplace, there are some special needs and some differences that we are in need of that will benefit us during the 8 to 10 to 12 hour shifts that we are now working. You have your human and civil rights. That's just to make sure that no one feels neglected or abridged or compromised in the workforce when it comes to racial injustice, when it comes to gender identity or anything like that, because all of these things are playing a role and they do impact the work environment. Again, I'm voices of the workforce. If this is something that resonate with you, if this is something that's really good and great, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel, tell some other co-workers, friends, neighbors, your community. I'm all about that community and getting involved, and let's push the envelope forward. Other committees that are coming aboard, the young folks are into your AI, your artificial intelligence, so you can perhaps have like a technology committee. This is something that involves the millennials and the Gen Z people, because now everywhere you look, to the left, to the right, up, down, north, south, east, to west, it's all about that computer technology. So we're going to have to come on board. Most of us have a smartphone, and it is so much more capabilities that we have access to that we're not even aware of that our phones are capable of doing. Most people just want to just make a phone call or whatever, but that smartphone in your hand, that's a mini computer. It's able to keep a lot more information and data that's super important that you're probably not utilizing. So with our young people that are coming on and coming into the workforce now, that's how we can connect old school with new school. The old school, we have the knowledge, the skills, the ability to know how it's done. And the new school are the ones with the technology to blend it and incorporate it. And that's how the generations can support each other and come forward with each other. Again, voice of the workforce, I am here. I am here to talk about your workforce. If you have any questions, I want you to feel free to drop me a line. I will answer as many of your questions that I have. If I do not have the answer, I assure you, I will look for the answer. And on my next live, we will bring forward whatever your questions and answers are, because together we grow. So you have to ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? Do you want your union to be as great as it can be? Are you a part of the solution, or are you a part of the problem? A lot of times people are thinking that it's okay to say, well, I'm neutral, I'm not either way. Well, brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you, anytime you're neutral, you are for whichever way the decision went. Think about it. So if you are not Democrat or Republican, just using two of our parties because there are others to choose from. But for the sake of this example, to say, well, I'm not going to vote. I'm not Democrat or Republican. Well, if the Democrat win because you didn't vote against it, that's what your support went towards. If the Republican win and because you did not vote, that's where your persuasion went. So either way, you may as well physically cast your vote and opinion, and let's just see where it falls. So don't feel safe or that you riding the fence or that you're in the middle of the stream or bragging about the fact that I didn't even vote. That's not a good thing. Part of unionism is to talk about voting. Go back to the Jim Crow era. We have come too far. Too many lives have been lost. People on the line just so you can have the rights that you have. Always know for every benefit and right that you have, somebody had to give up something. I don't know if you've ever heard the term, there's no free lunch. I'm here to tell you, there's no free lunch. So if you have not supported anything, or if you are benefiting from something, know that somebody gave that to you to do. So let's try to keep this thing as equal as we can. When we're speaking of equality, that's just sort of a name that we just drop and that we use. But equality, we want to be equal in terms of status, opportunities, and promotability. So we want to be equal in status, opportunity, and promotability. So know that you are part of this great society. So choose which direction you want to take and which side you want to live with. I'm welcoming you all to Voice of the Workforce so we can sit down, we can chit chat, we can talk about some things, and we can try to move the needle forward. So that's just one of the things that I'm talking about. I'm so excited. I am Cheryl Stubblefield. I am the president of currently UAW 129. I'm here to answer any questions, any ideas, any suggestions that you may have, because again, if I'm not part of the solution, perhaps I'm part of the problem. So I want to weigh in on, like I said, I have over 30 years of experience with the labor movement, and I want to leave something of a legacy with the public. I know it may be a little slow getting started, but I'm here to tell you I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anyplace. I believe in what we have here. It is super important. So I'm here to answer your questions. I'm asking that you subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications because that's important. You know why those notifications are important? It will notify you every time I'm making a video live so you can perhaps tune in. That's super important. I don't want you just to tune in. I want you to engage with me. Ask some questions. There is no such thing as a dumb question. A question unasked is the dumb question. So make sure that you tune in and that you ask the questions. Also, if this is something that you like, give me that thumbs up. Thumbs up. Not one, not two. Give me them thumbs up. That is YouTube's way of knowing if you are engaging with the information or not. I am Cheryl Stubblefield. I am the president. I have over 30 years of experience. I have worked with some of the great people. I am an avid reader. I am a forever student. You all are going to be training and teaching me as well. And that's kind of what we do. Okay. All right. We're going to end this right now. I thank y'all for everything, and I look forward to the next session, and let's get it going. Voice of the Workforce. Okay.